Hello, my beautiful people. Your 2023 tarot and astrology readings are up and out there for your purchasing pleasure. So they are the same price. I'm keeping the same price so that they are accessible for everybody. So you can get them for $4.99 a piece, which is like the price of a cup of coffee, basically, or a sandwich, or probably, I don't even think you can get either of those now. Well, thereabouts at this moment in time. So this year, I have included even more knowledge, even more wisdom for you to digest. So as part of those, you will get the numerology overview, the eclipse overview. That is a part that I'm not going to be putting out on any of my other platforms. And it's really important that you see that, because the way that the eclipse is full next year is there's some really juicy tidbits in there. On top of that, you will get the lunation section, which is all about your new moon, your full moon of the year of 2023, and the eclipses and how all of those are going to be impacting your sign. On top of that, you will get the 12-month breakdown, and this year, the 12-month tarot breakdown. And on top of that, this year, I've created a 19 plus, because they're about 19 pages or more, plus page document of astrological knowledge and wisdom, and how the biggest transits of the year are going to be hitting you in your sign. So I have literally, by the way, that's downloadable and printable, so you can have it as like a reference guide for the year ahead. I literally couldn't fit any more into these. We've also made the files smaller this year so that they're easier for you guys to download. I've tried to think of absolutely everything. So you can get one for $4.99. You can get your big three, your sun, moon, and ascendant, for $14.97. So you would select the two that you want, and then at the cart you add the third item so that you get your sun, moon, and rising. Or you can buy the bundle for $24.99, right? Look at that. And then you can download them and send them to all of your loved ones. With that said, I just want to say a massive thank you for allowing me to, from time to time sell you things. Obviously, this is my business. It is how I do my work. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to get those, you can do so on the link in the description box below. For those of you that do purchase and support my work, I thank you so deeply and humbly from my heart to yours. I really hope you have a wonderful 2023, and I really hope that you love them as much as I did creating them. Take care, and then let's get to your week ahead taroscope. Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Your key to the week this week is the Judgment card. Are you ready for transformation? Are you ready for movement? Are you ready for the next big step? This is going to be a week where you are clearing the decks. Be prepared, because there are going to be things and there are going to be moments this week that really feel like, things are reaching a crescendo. The Judgment card really does have that energy for me, and it usually shows up when we're about to have a blast from the past. So don't be surprised if this week you've got old friends, old colleagues, possibly even old lovers for some of you. I really hope that's not the case. Right, that are reaching out to you. For some of you, this could also be long held hopes and wishes and dreams that come up for some kind of review. Now, what I like about this card is it allows you, or it doesn't allow you to do anything, it kind of heralds the fact that you're going to get a chance to integrate a lesson, an understanding, or a realization. And this is what allows us to progress onto the World card, because what follows this card is the World. So this is where you are preparing, right? It's that final exam, it's that final test. Have you passed? Have you done enough? Are you ready? This is that moment where you really get to see what you have done, what you haven't done, and how you set all of that into motion in order to have the things that you desire. So really, are you ready for transformation? Because that process begins this week, whether you are or aren't. It's kind of like one of those moments, where you sit in front of a test paper and you're like, you get a bit nervous because it's like a big deal, and then you're kind of like in your head, you're like, oh, if I fail and and maybe I just didn't work hard enough. Don't do any of that. Let your mind, your body, and your spirit take over, all right? You'll realize that you've done more than enough. For your actions and options, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So it does look like some of you are taking a trip down memory lane this week. And when I say a trip down memory lane, I mean like literally, not figuratively. The Knight of Pentacles is a mode of transport. You couple this with the Judgment card, you're going back to the place that you used to live in. You're going back to the place that you grew up in. You're having contacts or messages or phone calls, etc., coming from people from your past. So for a lot of you, this could be like literal reunions, reconnections. It could be re-establishing ideas or reaffirming your goals or your life path in some way, shape or form. I think this could be a very powerful week for you. And for those of you that are visiting, you know, maybe it could be as simple as you're going to visit your parents, right, in the house that you grew up in. It could be as complex as you are meeting up with an old partner in the place that you went to university. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's broad, it's varied. There's many ways that this could kind of reach, but there is a reconnection of some kind here this week. And I feel like it's very poignant. Like, I feel like it's got that sort of, whatever it is, it's going to touch you in the heart space, all right? For your communications and conversations, you have the Two of Pentacles. So big financial decisions are being made this week. Even if you're not necessarily acting on them or doing anything with them, this is really kind of a step in the right direction. This is some big conversation that's taking place around money, finances, resources. This is you finding your spiritual flow that allows you to interact with the material world to bring you some of the really great things that you're looking to create, or maybe even to take those things and bring them to fruition. For some of you, this is conversations potentially with people from your past that really highlight, you know, not only how far you've come, but more importantly, what you're ready to release or to let go of. There could be conversations this week about budgets, finances, resources, what you have, what you don't. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I think this is going to be a make or break week. I think for a lot of you, you will probably say to yourselves, yes, I'm ready to do this, or no, I'm really not. And I think you're going to, like, if you're studying, this could be a week where some of you maybe decide that you don't want to study. You know what, actually, I've given it some thought, I've given it my best. Now that I've really settled in here, I realize this isn't for me. So there's a lot of consideration, there's a lot of thought that's gone into this for some of you. And maybe it is that you're getting cold feet, all right? So you need to really examine that and have some of the conversations. A lot of you are having big talks this week about realizations of, this is going to take me a long while to get off the ground. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, I mean, look, if you're employed by someone else, I think this could be a week where you are potentially giving a boss an ultimatum. I need a pay rise, or I need less, you know, more hours or less hours, depending on the way that your pay is structured. There's something about this week where it's like you've made a decision and now you're ready to kind of take it to them. For others, this could literally be a time where you are taking a test. Maybe you're starting to really sort of realize, actually, my knowledge is very valuable in this place or this arena. And you know what? The recompense or the rewards for it isn't necessarily on par. So you could start sort of having some of those conversations now. When it comes to your, those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or people that work for themselves, that Two of Pentacles, and because it's with the Judgment card and you've got this Knight of Pentacles, that's a revision of your budget. Where you're spending money, what you're spending money on. And for some of you, it may be like something's coming up short here. It's not to say that there's money missing or that there's someone stealing or anything like that if you have employees. It's just to say that you're kind of like, can I actually justify what I'm paying out at the moment? Is it doing what it says on the tin? It's like you're getting really, really clear when it comes to your finances, your resources, and your expenditures. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, it's a solid energy, right? And, you know, I would say this is a great week, actually. It looks like a lot of you are getting out of Dodge. And again, right, whether you're employed, studying or whatever, it looks like some of you are taking a trip home. And for those of you that are retired and no longer working, there might be a sense of homesickness this week where you're, you know, there's no moon card here, which I would expect to see for that feeling, but that's the feeling that I have from it. For your love and relations, you've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is a lot of earth, right? This is a lot of earth. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, big conversations about finances this week, but also big conversations about the long-term goals. This is you guys really nurturing and nourishing those things. It's like, you know what, this is where we want to live, this is how much we want to save, this is what we're going to need for. It's like this week you're having all of the, you know, like the unsexy conversations, but the ones that have the most impact on the future. This is you really delving deep into that. For those of you that are single and looking, could be an earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo. If you're single though, I am going to say this is likely to be somebody from your past. It could be somebody that you dated before, maybe the one that got away, maybe you're the one that got away. It's like you connect with someone or you reconnect with someone and it's like, wow, okay, you know what, this is where we may be heading. I actually really love this because you're approaching it from a really grounded perspective. It's not easy, right? Because you are a water sign after all, but I love it. I think it's great. For your money and materials, you have the 10 of Swords. So this with the 2 of Pentacles and the Judgment card, this is a release of a financial burden, but this could be, you know, it could be anything from I'm no longer going to pay for this service because I don't feel like it's worth it, right through to I'm going to have to let an employee go. And everything in between. Do you know what I mean? Like, so you'll have to think about where this is hitting you personally, but there is something of a financial nature or potentially contractual nature that's coming to an end. For some of you, this is literally a week where you might be needing to replace a car and I'm not talking about like getting it repaired or having the wheels changed or I'm talking about having to get a new car. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the 10 of Swords is your hands, your arms, and like your upper extremities, basically. Look out for those. When it comes to your home and environment, honestly, just because of the other cards that are present, I wonder if this is potentially a dispute that happens with a neighbour or, you know, let's say your mortgage provider or maybe your housing association or your estate agents. It's a potential. Try to keep calm, all right? I mean, when we're talking about problems or issues with the home, telling a Cancer to stay calm is like telling Mike Tyson to stay, you know, calm after someone punched him in the face. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Just try to keep your cool, whatever conversations you're having around or about the home. It's not going to serve you. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care and I'll see you soon.